San Francisco is going to grow by another 150,000 people. In the next 25 years, the Bay Area is going to grow by 2 million people. And we really have to get it together when it comes to housing. I ride Muni every day, and I have for almost 20 years. I ride it because I really believe in public transportation. It's important for our city, for our environment. Being on Muni every day has allowed me to be reminded all the time the struggles that people have just trying to get around, and I've definitely lived it in my daily life.
Working with Scott, you're going to get an individual who is incredibly thoughtful about the work that is put before him. He considers every issue and makes sure that he hears all the sides of particular topics.
Scott has been really great about housing, about keeping rent control as it is, and the building of in-laws and things like that, which are very important because it's tough. It's really tough. And somebody coming here now, it's impossible to find a place to live.
I don't think I'd be able to move into my neighborhood today if I were coming here as a 27-year-old. And so the cost of housing is really threatening what San Francisco and what the Bay Area is about, and we have to work very, very hard to fix our broken housing system.
When you have someone like Scott, who's constantly introducing legislation, who's constantly on top of every single issue that impacts San Franciscans in order to develop good policies that help make people's lives better, then it forces you to be a better supervisor.
Well, I'm Andrew Rogers, and I started the Friends of Dolores Park community group. This was in response to a growing trash problem. People would come to the park and leave their trash. So as part of kind of a broader spectrum of people that I wanted to get involved, I contacted Scott Wiener and kind of asked him for help. Sent him a simple email, and he got back to me immediately. And he came down to the park offering his support and helped us out.
I'm impressed with his ability to come in and see a problem and come up with a solution for it and do it quickly. He doesn't waste time. That's one of the many things I like about Scott is that he sees a problem, he goes after it, and he solves it.
San Francisco State students have been trying to get transit passes on our campus for about the past 10 years now, and it's been a really slow process, and we've never really had the traction needed, but Supervisor Wiener has been really helpful because he knows the process and has been able to give us the resources necessary to really, move forward in this.
Scott is, number one, really hardworking. I would say that Scott is incredibly ethical, and I would say he's absolutely principled.
A few years ago, a new drug was developed called pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, which allows you, if you take one pill a day, to reduce your risk of getting HIV by 99%. And so I started to use PrEP, and I, after a lot of soul searching, decided to announce publicly that I am using PrEP. And it was a hard decision. I decided to do that because as a public official, it was important for me to lead by example and to create some space for other people to learn about PrEP, but also to reduce the stigma around it. And I think it's had some positive impacts.
He's under the radar. He's not all about peacocking around as a political figure. So I appreciate how humble he is and how genuine and compassionate. Like, for instance, we met with Tita Alice Bulos, who is the godmother of Filipino politics, and we went to visit her, and he sat with her next to her bed for an hour, and it shows how genuine he is, how compassionate he is and patient he is. And it's not just about getting that vote or that endorsement. It's really about getting to know that person and building that relationship.
Sometimes in politics, it's very tempting to try to be all things to all people and just to tell people what they want to hear. And that's not my style. People never have to guess where I am on an issue. And I think that is incredibly important in terms of having elected officials who are actually able to lead.